6 years ago now, I moved back to London. I've been in South Africa working as a freelance photographer and filmmaker, but I was just really struggling to get the work flowing in and to keep things ticking over. So I knew that if I wanted to keep this as a career, I needed to make a difficult decision, say goodbye to good friends and to family, and to pack everything into bags and to come back to the UK to start over. So that's exactly what I did. I sold a load of my possessions. I put all my camera gear into a backpack, threw some clothes and other bits and pieces into a suitcase and bought a ticket. And I remember the really odd sensation of walking up to the check-in desk at the airport and suddenly realizing that everything I owned was sitting in 2 bags next to me. And it was at once terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because there was no safety net anymore, but liberating because I was entirely self-sufficient and in a way anything was possible. I got off the plane at the other end and it kind of hit me that I'm gonna have to start this business from the bottom up. So one of the first things I did was to build a website, and I chose Squarespace. One of Squarespace's values as a company is to empower individuals. And at that point in my life, I'd never felt more alone, nor more in need of empowerment. Empowering individuals is a value that really resonates with me because in a lot of the work that I do, I have to operate pretty much as a one-man band. Clients love the fact that they can hire people like me to travel fast and be responsive with just the gear that they have on their back, but to come back with films and photography that rivals some of the production houses out there. And I'm really proud that I can do that with a relatively small amount of gear. I can come back with work that not only I'm proud of, but that my clients are thrilled with. I think with the way that the camera industry has been moving over the last decade and the fact that gear is so much more affordable now, that the cameras that we buy can do so much more, means that there's going to be loads more people like me out there who can pack with just a little bit of gear but get a lot done at a high standard as we go around. And it's definitely the way the industry is moving. And to me, that's really exciting because I think we're set to see a much broader array of stories told, because this army of creatives who can travel fast, who can tread lightly, and who can reach the far corners of the earth and bring us back these visual stories is growing and growing. So we're going to see stories that we maybe never saw before because our traditional media outlets didn't have the time or the inclination to cover them. So I think it's an incredibly exciting time to be alive as a visual artist and storyteller. When it came to my website, I knew I needed a solution that was going to match my lifestyle. It had to be agile, it had to be versatile, because I knew how much I'd be traveling and how changeable things would be, and I'd have to be able to do things on the go and run my own show. With Squarespace, I felt like they'd empowered me to run my own website. They'd done all the hard work behind the scenes of setting up a solid platform and designing a variety of beautiful templates that are really easy to use, so that even a web idiot like myself could do more than I ever dreamed possible. I could display my portfolio online, I could make changes on the go, I could show my films, I could write a blog, I could even set up an online store, which is something I never thought I'd be able to manage on my own unassisted. And for me, that kind of owning of my online voice, even while traveling around the world, was absolutely essential. I'm only where I am today because we live in an amazing time where you can teach yourself anything you want online if you have the patience and perseverance. I didn't go to school to learn photography or filmmaking. I just went online when I was starting out and I looked up other photographers who were putting out this amazing, informative and inspiring work that helped me work my way forwards. So now I don't just work for myself. I consider it my responsibility and my great joy to help other photographers and creators to find their own voice. My YouTube channel is probably my greatest expression of this. I mean, I tell my audience all the time that it's not about the camera that you use. That's just the tool. It's about developing the art within you and developing your eye for photography. I mean, if I hand my fancy camera gear to someone who has no inclination towards photography at all, they will take bad images. But I could give my phone to a talented photographer and they'll take great photos. The good news about that is that you have everything that you need within you if you have the drive and tenacity to develop it to potentially become a great photographer or filmmaker. A lot of my audience are just starting out on their own creative journeys. They're still trying to hone their craft and find their voice, and they're trying to figure out ways to get their work in front of the rest of the world, which is why I recommend Squarespace. Because in my experience, Squarespace helps you to present yourself professionally. It encourages you to express yourself, and it gives you total control of your voice online. And my hope is that my audience, as they find their voice one by one, as they hit their stride, that they'll then choose to turn around and empower others.